Hello, and welcome to HBW-TV with me, your host, Sulin. Today, we're at Equatorial Hotel Penang, and we would like to welcome Dr. T, a practicing doctor in Penang, an international doctor and health educator in Cambodia, a qualified family physician, a specialist generalist, and the author of the upcoming book, The Art and Science of Healthy Living, coming this September to bookstores near you. Doctor, when we talk about preventative health care, what exactly are we referring to?
I think a big part of it is about health education. Basically, we have to introduce health education and then increase their awareness on what causes disease and how to avoid it, and also what promotes health, and encourage them to actually practice it.
And why do you believe that this is important?
It is very important because we don't want people to fall sick in the first place. Once a person falls sick, we are no longer providing health care. To me, it is sick care because the person already sick, and whatever we do to them is treating a sick patient. And when a person already sick, there's already a lot of damage done. And to reverse that condition, it is more expensive and more difficult. So it's actually a step too late.
What are the pros and cons comparing healthcare and sick care?
Sick care is one step too late. Healthcare is one step ahead and better. If you practice healthcare, you don't get into problem, and therefore you don't have to work towards resolving the problem.
Do you think there is a trend in the medical industry today that gears us more towards healthcare or sick care?
We get trapped in sick care, but even in medical school we always taught that the best care is preventive health care. But when we come out and work, there are more people falling sick than coming you for advice to help them to gain better health. So, you are like sitting in the clinic, every case that come in are sick patient. But right now, actually, when I start promoting healthcare, I am beginning to see patients that walk in and say, Dr. T, I need your consultation. I don't need medicine. Tell me what to do. Now we're beginning to see this type of patient after writing some articles and promoting awareness on this area.
Do you think it's necessary to consult a doctor to get the most suitable health care for a person?
Yes, they can get it from the media, from the books and all that, but if you get it from somebody who is an expert in this area, the effect is different, because the doctor or the health professional can impress upon you so that your perception about the whole thing is different, and that changes your belief. And when you change your belief, your attitude change, and then your habit change. So whatever you do every day, you are doing it differently in a way that will promote health.
A lot of people in Asia, especially Malaysia, would like to say that you're not truly sick, you're just a sore throat or you're just a cough. You don't need to see a medical professional for it. What do you have to say about those cases? Where do you draw the line between this is something that you can fight on your own, your body can fight on its own, or this is something that you need professional help?
It boils down to health education again. There is no hard and fast rule. It's difficult to draw the line, but that person, whoever is having the sickness, a lot of factors come in, whether it's affordable, whether you have the knowledge, and if it's very concerned about their health. You take, for example, a man and a lady. The ladies are more concerned and they are more sensitive to health. So the ladies will see the doctors first, and sometimes they have to drag the husband along. So, but then if you look at it, even a simple cough, do you know that cough, the underlying cause could be cancer of the lungs or TB? So if you don't see a doctor, you might miss it. That is what happened in a developing country like, I also work in Cambodia, and I'm seeing a lot of people that self-treat themselves, and sometimes they end up with costly damages.
Because the longer you prolong it, the more expensive your treatment will become.
Not only that, they can reach a very severe state of disease, and even if you manage to treat them, the damage could have been done and could be irreversible.
You mentioned the cost of the care.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about health, wellness, health and wealth.
Okay.
What do you think is the correlation between these two, and which do you think people should take more seriously?
Wellness and wealthiness.
Yes.
Okay. If you ask somebody, which is more important, wealthiness or wellness? And if they start thinking for a while, they will say, oh, wellness is important. Because if we don't have wellness, we cannot enjoy our wealthiness.
Very true, very true.
Yeah. And then with wellness, you can earn more. If you're sick, you cannot earn.
Very true.
So the other point is, wealthiness has a negative aspect of it, but wellness, you go all out, there is no negative counterpart of wellness. The more well you are, the healthier you are, the better. But wealthiness, if you have too much money, what will you do? You know, people indulge in various hazard activities, you know. They start taking up alcoholism, they start gambling, and then they might, you know, they might sleep late, and the other thing is sometimes when they earn more, they get greedy, they want even more. So when they want even more, they work till midnight and a lot of stress, they actually sacrifice their wellness.
Considering that everyone is very different, what general advice could you give to most of the population in terms of significant but small changes, practical changes that they can make to their life to incorporate these preventative measures?
I think it all boils down to whether they know or they don't know. So it boils down to information, education, and what we should focus on is education. If we can manage to get the information over to them, and they have the knowledge is power, and this knowledge will empower them to change their belief, their attitude, their behavior, and their habits. They can change their bad habit to good habit, and that will promote health. If they don't know, then they do all the wrong things. Then they end up having sickness.
Very true. Could you give us an example of the average 9 to 5 Joe of them having a healthy life? An example, maybe waking up at 6, you know, taking a walk before going to work or something like that?
Well, I always talk about myself.
Okay.
Because I'm a health professional, I know things better, and I'm in better position to decide what is good for me. So yeah, I wake up, in my life now, I work shorter hours. I have my assistant doctors as well, and I do in my free time I do a lot of farming, because I regard farming as good exercise, because it involves all parts of your body. You have to squat, you have to stand, you have to lift things, you have to push, you have to pull. So it's a good exercise, whether it's aerobic exercise or it is, we call it, you call it that type of strength exercise, or sometimes we call it isometric, isotonic exercise. So both aspects we need it. So in my free time, I write a lot of health articles. I publish my articles in the dailies in Cambodia, and now I'm in the process of publishing a book. So I balance up, and that is mental activities. You keep your mind active, you keep your body active. People always say that the Creator gives you all these things, and if you don't do it, you don't use it, they will slowly take it back. You don't exercise, your bone, becomes porous. You don't exercise, your muscles shrink. You don't use your brain, again it deteriorates. You get, your memory won't be so good, and so when you use it, the muscles get bigger. When you use it, your bones strengthen. When you use your mind becomes more and more active, right?